One thing I've noticed and kind of seen is people say that God isn't real because maybe they've asked God to reveal himself to them, and God has not done that. God has not revealed himself to them. God has not shown himself to them. But when I think about it, a lot of times, because I used to make this mistake too, is that we approach God, and a lot of these people, this might be the case more than likely. You're approaching God expecting God to maybe appear in a physical form or speak to you through an audible voice. And that's not always the way God works or deals. He can, and he does for many people, because he knows your heart. He knows, okay, this person, if I don't come this certain way, they're not going to believe. And a lot of people who think, oh, if God was to appear in physical form or speak to me through an audible voice, then I'll believe. God knows your heart sometimes. 9 times out of 10, God will do it, and you still doubt. You still won't believe. You'll still go around saying God does not exist. So one thing you need to understand is God does answer that prayer. And that prayer could come through maybe a video that you scrolled past through your social media because you're like, well, he didn't appear. I want him to be physically here or to speak through an audible voice. And then he'll put a video and you ignore it. He will send somebody, maybe a coworker or somebody on the street will come try to talk to you about God. You'll ignore it. Or you might even be driving and there'll be a sign that for a church maybe that says, hey, this is when we hold services. You will ignore that and then still go about and say God doesn't answer just because he didn't come the way you want him to. God doesn't have to come the way you want him to. Just know that he does answer though. Just know that because you are failing to see that he answered your prayer does not mean that he's not real. It's just you failing to see that he's answering, just not in a way that you want him to. Let me give you this example. If a woman wanted a child, for example, she prayed to God, God, I want a child. And God gives her a husband, okay, so that child can come through marriage. And that woman turns down that husband and says, no, God, I want my child through a virgin birth like Mary. Listen, as much as God is able to give her that child through a virgin birth, more than likely it's not going to happen. She's going to stay there praying that same prayer and that child will never come. So just remember, God doesn't do things the way we want him to, but God always, without failing, does things his way. It's about us lining up to God and not God lining up to our way and to us. Hopefully this is a blessing to somebody. God bless.